Hey guys, welcome to Tan Investing. If you're new here, welcome. In this channel, we will look at investing, savings, Canadian growth investing, Canadian value investing, Canadian dividend stock, along with personal finance. If it's something that interests you, please don't forget to subscribe by clicking the red button at the bottom. Let's get started. So today we will look at the power of
So the
compound
strategy
interest,
for
which is
compounding
also known
is
as
to
the
invest early.
snowball
So the
effect.
longer your money is invested,
Again, once
the
you're
more
done
time
watching
it has
these
to grow. When it comes
content,
to
if you
compounding
do like
return,
them, please don't
time is an
forget to
advantage.
share with
So
others.
start
And if you
contributing
haven't
regularly,
subscribed,
regardless of
please
the amount.
subscribe. The important thing is to start and be consistent. Even small contribution made each month will grow. You can increase your contribution as your financial situation changes throughout the life. Just stay disciplined. Be patient. So don't take money out. As your savings grow and earn compound return, the gains made through the compounding will also help you with building your wealth. As you can see on the picture, this
When
is
we
Albert
invest early in our
Einstein, one of
lives,
the greatest
the amount
scientists.
keeps growing
So what he
at a
said
specific
is
interest rate. At that
the
time
one of the
of
eighth
maturity, it becomes a big
wonder in the
chunk.
world
So let's look
is
at an example.
compound interest.
Long back,
Is the
when the
eighth
investor of
wonder.
a chess
He
showed
says
the
that
game to an Indian
he who
king,
knows
the king
understands
was
it
so impressed
would
by
earn
the
it,
new game
who
that he
doesn't
wanted to
would
reward
pay
the
it.
inventor.
So if you can
At that
understand from
time,
that,
the
if you
inventor
know
replied,
how the
"My wishes
compound
are
works,
simple.
you
I
can
only
earn the
wish
money.
for
If
one
you don't know
grain
how the
of rice
compound work, you
can
can for the
eventually
first
pay it." So
square
if you think
of the
about a credit card,
chessboard,
for
two
example,
grains for the
and if you
second
don't
square,
understand, you can pay
four
more out
grains
of
for
your
the third
pocket.
square, eight for the fourth square, and so on, all 64 squares, because there's 64 squares in a chessboard. The inventor said, "Please double the number of grains in the next square compared to the earlier square." The king was amazed to hear that the inventor had asked for such a small reward. He happily agreed to the inventor's request. However, after a week, the king treasurer informed him that the reward would add up to a huge number, far greater than all of the rice that they could possibly produce in many centuries. Do you know why he said that? And how much of rice it would be when one reaches 64 square of the chesswood? As said earlier, in the first square of chesswood, there is only one grain. But when you come to the 64th square, it's 18 million trillion grains of rice. This is more than enough to cover the entire surface of the earth. As of all of us behave like the king in some way or other, we find it hard to understand how the power of doubling or compounding make numbers grow. So let's take a look at another example here, comparing simple interest to the compound interest. So say for example, if you save $200 under simple interest, if you save $200 was invested with the rate of return of 3% for 2 years, the first year your interest is $6. Second year your interest is $6, so the total interest is $12. And under the compound interest, and we'll take a look at $200 invested, the same rate of return 3% for 2 years. The first year you would get $6. The second year it will be $6.18 because you would have $206 times that by 0.03, you would get $6.18. So the total will be $12.18. Another example with a little bit larger amount, simple versus compound interest. So simple, if you took 5,000, invested it for 20 years with a 7% interest rate, you would get about 12,000. If you compound it, if you take the same 5,000, invest it for 20 years, and you get 7% interest rate, you would get 19,348. So you can see the difference there being the
So you achieve
19,048
compound
minus the
interest by
12,000
staying in the
being
market.
about
So all that means is buy and hold. No
$7,348
need to do
difference.
anything else.
And now we
On
will
the
look
other
at
point,
another
you will
example
notice
with
that
the
the
larger
performance
amount.
of a
So
stock
assume that
is
you
usually
invest
quoted in
10,000 in
terms of
savings
compound
account. That
annual
makes you about
returns. So
2.5%, which is
example, if a 3-year return rate is
0.025 interest.
5%,
It
your initial
compounds
investment is
quarterly, which is
$1,000.
4 times in a year.
You will have
Assume
1,000
that you
times
plan to keep this money
1.05
in the
times
account for 30 years.
1.05 times
So the information that
1.05
has
for 3
been
years,
given to
which
you
would equal
is the
about
principal amount, the rate of return,
$1,157.63
the number of
after
times
3
they will
years.
get paid in
So the
the
return was
year,
as a
and
total
the time
percentage
horizon, which is the
is
30 years. So in order to
$157.63,
calculate
which is the
this, you would
1,000
take the
minus
10,000 plus 1
$1,157.63
in bracket
divided
1
by the initial
plus
investment, which is 1,000, which
0.025, which
equals
is the interest rate divided by
15.7%.
the number of
So not the
times you would get that
15%.
paid.
That's the
Close
power of
bracket,
compound return, the
and then
sweet
it's
extra
4 for the number
0.7% on the
plus
total
the
return.
t, which is the
I
30.
shouldn't need to say this, but
So if you look at that,
stock
you can
performance is
see
always backward looking. So
you
there's
would
no
do
guarantee of some returns going forward, as
in
the
the order
simplified
of
example that I showed above.
uh,
Investment grow at an unpredictable, inconsistent rate, but over the long term, it averages out to some average growth rate on which you can use compound growth math. There are lots of reasons why investments might grow on average at a consistent rate percentage wise. So each dollar in value gained does help with the next. So for example, let's say a tea chain has publicly listed a stock whose value grows in perfect proportion to their earnings. Their earnings might grow 2% a year as they raise the prices with the inflation, and another 2% a year as more tea drinkers buy their product with the population growth, for a total growth of 4% a year. So $100 invested in a year one becomes worth $104 in the next year. That extra $4 in value does include does does indeed also grow by the 4% again the second year for $108.16, as the compound growth math suggests, and so on. Now that doesn't mean it will always be whatever growth rate. The future is unpredictable, and investing does involve risk. So for example, that 9.52% is the performance of an ETF over the last 5 years. But it wasn't 9.52 every single year. It got there by being up 21%, up 9%, down 8.8%, up 22.9%, up 5.6%, and so on. So the average is out to about 9.52% a year. But the first year, 21% gain is also enjoyed, the second year of 9% gains, compounding the growth. So if a stock or ETF has 2% dividend yield, you're getting $200 for every 10,000 you're putting in every year. So 10,000 becomes 10,002K. The next year it's 10,404, then 10,612. In 10 years you're now sitting at 12,189.44 just from reinvesting your portfolio income back into itself. So the real power of this is when you combine compound interest with dollar cost averaging. Now you're speeding up this compounding by adding more money to your position each month, each week, and etc. Now we will just take a quick look at a chart for Royal Bank, for example. As you can see, back in 2011, it was trading around $60, and now it's trading at
So now I think
$126.
I've given you a lot of
So
example. You look
126
at one
minus
more
60,
example here.
that's about
So say for example, if you
$66
start off with
more per
100,000
share that it has gotten.
and
So if you
you're
had
earning
about
a
100 shares,
2.5% interest,
and if you bought that
you would
100
be getting
shares at
10,000.
$60,
200
you would be
sorry
holding
holding
an
an extra
extra 500 on the first year. On the
$6,600
second
by
year, you
holding
take
the
the same
share up until this
102,500
point. This is without the
invested, you're
dividend
getting
in
an interest
calculation.
on that
And
amount,
then if you look at
which
the
is going to be
dividend, you can also see, as I mentioned before,
$2,562.50 each year,
which is going to put your total
how
value
the
at
dividend has increased,
105,062.50.
decreased,
You
and
take
gone
the
up and
same
down,
amount that
plus
you
the
invested again
interest that you're
for
getting, which is about, let's say, about
105,062.50.
4%. So
The
for the
2.5% interest is going to get you
6,000, which was your initial
$2,626, and that's going to
$60
work out to
times
be about
100, which is
107,689.
about
And after,
$6,000
let's
that
say,
you have invested.
25 years,
You're also
that
getting an interest rate,
initial
which is about
investment is going to grow,
4%,
which
plus the
is
interest
working
and
out to
everything
be
that you've gained is going to be
$240 per quarter. So that's times that by
872.
4.
Your
You get to
interest
about
alone is going to be about
$960. So
4,521, and you're
960
going to have
times,
about,
say for example, if you hold it for
185,400.
25 years, that's about 24,000 that the
So you can
dividend
see
itself has
how that
accumulated
plays a
over
part
that 25
in
years while
your
you were holding
investment.
on to the stock, plus the extra 6,600 that you have
So
gained from the
I think I've given
stock
you
price
enough
appreciation.
examples for you to
So
understand
it's
the
about 30
compounding interest on how that
30,600
works and
that
how
you have
that would
gained,
help you on the long
plus
run.
the extra stocks
If
that
you
you have
still
also
want me to
accumulated.
explain anything more, if you don't understand something, please
Hope you
let
guys
me know in the
enjoyed this
comment section
presentation.
below.
Please
I would
check
love
out the other
to
videos
give my feedback.
if you want to see
And
any other
also,
videos.
if I don't know
Please let me
something, I
know in the
love to learn
description
from you as well.
below if you want me to do any other type of video like this. I do want
hope
to
this
expand my
is
knowledge in
useful to
Canadian
you.
market, investment, finances. If you want to let me know anything to improve my channel, please do so in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching my video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.